Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Christ going over the end of Module 2 test study guide. You have your test tomorrow. So remember, these are the skills and the types of questions you will see on tomorrow's test. If you can do these, then the test will be a breeze. So the first problems we have right here, if you remember, this was at the very beginning of our unit where it's the really large numbers we're dividing by. And at first it overwhelmed you, but we learned that easy strategy of crossing off our zeros. So instead of 300, we're going to cross off the 2 zeros from here. So we're dividing only by 3. And if we take 2 zeros off of here, we're taking 2 zeros off of here. So we're essentially dividing by 100 right now. And we're left with 1200 divided by 3. Okay? Then from here, we take our easy numbers. 12 divided by 3. Well, I know 3 times 4 gets me 12. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. And then I bring my 2 zeros that I didn't get to touch back up into my answer, into my quotient. So 400 is the answer. B, 30,000 divided by 60. Again, same strategy. Cross off this 0. So we cross off one of these. Whatever I do to this one, I have to do to this one. We divided by a 10 here. Now we're left with 3,000 divided by 6. Again, look for the easy numbers. So 30, that's the 3 in this first 0, divided by 6. I know that's 5, because 5 times 6 equals 30. So then I bring the 2 zeros that I didn't touch back up into my answer for my quotient of 500. Be careful. Some of you might try and put 5,000 here because there were 3 zeros. But that first 0 we used in our 30. We touched that one. We didn't touch these last 2. So those go into the problem, or to the answer. Okay. Now, down here, number 2 says solve using long division. Express your answer with a remainder. Okay, and it does say you can check your work with multiplication like we've learned. So remember, we're setting up the first number as our dividend inside the house. And 63 is our divisor on the outside. So the first number goes in, second number out. And then, you are dividing by 63, so I would round that to 60 because it's much easier to count by. And I would do 60, 120, 180, 240, 300, 360, 420, 480, 540. Whew, that was a lot of them, but I have to get to 511 because 63 can't go into 5. 63 can't go into 51. So I have to get 63 into 511. So that's why I had to count all the way down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 groups of 60 would fit into 511. No, wait, not 9 groups because that's 540. That's too far. So 8 groups would fit into 511. So we're going to try 8 groups of 63. 63 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 2 is 50. So that is close to 511 without going over. So 504 comes down here. 8 groups goes up top. And I subtract 511 minus 504 is 7. So my remainder is 7. So on these problems, we're using remainders. So we can just say 8 remainder 7. Nice and easy peasy. Okay, over here, 3,324 goes inside the house. That's our dividend, divided by 53, our divisor on the outside. Again, instead of counting by 53s, I'm going to count by 50s. 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350. All right, I'm going to pause there. So 53 can't go into 3. If you want to put a 0, you can. 53 can't go into 33. And so now I know 53 has to go into 332 somehow. How many groups? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 groups of 50 would fit. Let's try 6 groups of 53. 3 times 6 is 18. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1 is 31. So that's 318 goes underneath. 6 groups goes above the 2 here because I went out to 332. Subtract 332 minus 318. Well, I'd have to unbundle the 3 to make that a 2. 2 becomes 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. So I kind of did that in my head instead of crossing it out, but it's up to you. Bring down the 4. And now I'm trying to get 53 into 144. Well, out of my 50s, I could only go to the 100. So that's 2 groups of 50. So let's try 53 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 2 is 10. So that's 106. I don't think I could fit another 53. So I'm going to do 106. And my 2 comes up here because I was 2 groups. And subtract to get my remainder. 144 minus 106. 4 minus 6 I can't do, so I would unbundle this and make it a 3. This 4 becomes a 14. 14 minus 6 is 8. 3 minus 0 is 3. So if you need to see that, it looks like that. Okay, and this 38, I have no more numbers to bring down, so that's just going to be my remainder. Remainder 38. So that's what I'll put on the line. 62. Remainder 38. That's my quotient. Okay. Down here it says Elena solved 764 divided by 82 in the following way. What was her mistake? Well, I would sit here and figure out step by step what I would do. Can 82 go into 7? No. Can 82 go into 76? No. So far it's okay that she left those blank because I know that's just zeros. It says 82 can go into 764 8 times. Well, I'm going to check her work right now. 82 times 8. 2 times 8 is 16. And 8 times 8 is 64. Plus 1 is 65. So she said 8 groups of 82 is 656. I agree with her so far. I don't see any mistakes yet. Now she does 764 minus 656. And she got 92. So if I were you, I would double check that part. 764 minus 656. 4 minus 6 I can't do, so I'd have to unbundle this 6 and make it 5 and add 10 more to here. So 10 plus 4 is 14. 14 minus 6 is 8. 5 minus 5 is 0. And 7 minus 6 is 1. Whoa, so I got 108 as the remainder, and she only got 92. I see what she did on her first one, 4 minus 6. She was thinking 6 minus 4 equals 2. But remember, the 4 is up top. You can't have less up top. If there's more on the floor, you got to go next door. So she didn't unbundle. That's her problem. Okay? So that is her mistake, and that's what I would write it out. Like she messed up on her subtraction. She did not unbundle. And I know that the real difference should be 108 for the remainder. Something like that should be what I write here. Okay? On the back, we have number 4. It says solve for the first quotient and use place value reasoning to compute the second and third quotients. So we did this quite a bit the one day, but the goal was you only have to solve the first one, and from there we could just move the decimals the right way to put them in the other lines. If you have to solve the other two, go for it, okay? Or you could do it and just check your work. Either one's fine. So 4.8 divided by 2. I have to solve that. 4 8/10 divided by 2. So I bring my decimal up right away, and then 2 goes into 4. 2 times 2 equals 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. Bring down my 8. And 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. So my quotient for the first one is 2 4/10. 2.4. So over here, we're dividing by a 20. So really, it's dividing by 10 more. So I know if I think about my place value from the beginning of the year, when we divide by 10, we just move the decimal one place over, or all the digits are actually shifting over one place smaller. So really, if I think about that, 2.4, Remember, my decimal stays in the same place. If we're dividing, my numbers are going to go smaller. They're going to go this way. And we're dividing by 10 more. So 1 place over. So 4 and 2. So I think my quotient is going to be 0.24 or 24 hundredths. Okay? If you want to double check, you can. So you could do 4.8 divided by 20. Remember, we move our decimal up. And then can 20 go into 4? No, it cannot. So that's a 0. And then can 20 go into 48? Yes, it can. 2 20s would be 40. 48 minus 40 is 8. And I know if I'm out of space here, I need to add a 0, bring it down, and make it 80. 20 times 4 gets me 80. So look at that. My answer matches. So this is why I said you didn't have to solve it. If you could just do the place value and know where to move the decimal, then you can just do that the next two. But like I said, if you ever want to check your work or if you're not sure how to do the place value, just go ahead and solve it then, okay? Same thing here. We divided by 2, we went to 20, now we're dividing by 200. So we're moving another tenth over, right? So if you wanted to do the decimal thing, dividing by 10, you could move that place value chart one more time. So our original answer was 2.4. Decimal stays in the same spot. And then we're dividing by 200 instead of 2. So we're dividing by 100 now. So 1, 2. So the 4 comes here, the 2 comes here, and then there's a 0. So I think the answer is going to be 0.024 or 24 thousandths. So again, if you want to check your work right here, you could do that. 4.8 divided by 200. And again, same thing. Bring your decimal up. 200 can't go into 4. 200 can't go into 48. You have to add a 0. 200 can go into 480 twice. And that's 400 minus, and you get 80. You'd have to add another 0. Bring it down. 200 can go into 800 4 times. So I know my quotients are all correct. Okay? You do not have to do all of this work. It's up to you if you want to do the place value and moving the decimals over, or if you'd rather solve it. It's up to you. Or if you want to do both to check your work. It's fine either way. All right, we're getting there. Number 5, solve and express your quotient with a decimal. Do not leave a remainder this time. So we're solving with the decimals. We're not going to have a remainder. We need to get to 0. So 8 divided by 32. Remember, my 8 goes inside. That's my dividend. It's the first number. 32 on the outside. And right away, a lot of students freak out. They go, wait a minute, 8 is a smaller number. I can't divide by 32. But remember, we can do this. 32 can't go into 8, so we put a 0. And then we add our decimals and another 0. Can 32 go into 80? Yes, it can. I could count by 32s. 32, 64. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 2, 4, 6, 96. So I know 2 32s would get me 64. That's the closest to 80 I can get right now. And 80 minus 64, well, this would become 10. This would become 7. 10 minus 4 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. Now, I bring down a 0. Can 32 go into 160? Well, let's see how many times. 2, 4, 6, 8, 3, 6, 9, 12. So 128. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I need to bundle. 1 would come over here, so that's 13. Plus 3 more is 16. That's 160. Ooh, that's what I need, 160. And that was how many groups? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 groups of 32. Got me 160. So my quotient is 0.25 or 25 hundredths. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're adding those zeros and bringing them down until we get a remainder of 0. All right, 97.34 divided by 31. So as always, bring the decimal up first And then, can 31 go into 9? No. Can 31 go into 97? Yes. So I'm going to count by 30s or 31s. It's up to you. I'm going to do 31s. 62, 93, 124. Okay, I'm trying to get to 97, so my closest would be 93. And that was 3 groups. 1, 2, 3. 97 minus 93, well, that's 4. And then bring down the 3. 31 can go into 43 one time, because that's my closest one group. So that's 31, and I subtract. 3 minus 1 is 2, 4 minus 3 is 1. And again, I got a remainder, so I need to bring down this 4 we haven't touched yet. How many 31s can go to 124? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them, 124. So my quotient is 3 and 14/100. All right, last part is a word problem. It says, Henry and Sadie made 696 cupcakes for the bake sale. They sold them in packages of 12 cupcakes each. The first part of the question says, how many packages of cupcakes did Henry and Sadie make? So if they had 696 total, and they're selling them in 12 cupcake groups, so I'm going to divide them into 12s. Okay, I know there's not a lot of space here, so if you need to move over here or do it on scratch paper, that's fine. I'm going to try and squeeze it, I guess. Well, I might do it over here, actually. Let me try and do that here so I can have some more room. 696. Okay, so can 12 go into 6? No. So if you want to write your 0, you can. Can 12 go into 69? Yes. If I know my 12 facts, 12 times 5 gets me 60. 69 minus 60 is 9. By the way, if you don't know your 12's facts, you can round this to 10 if you want and count by 10s and then still do what we normally do. But I know my 12's facts, so I'm doing 12 times 5 gets me 60. And then 69 minus 60 is 9. I need to bring down the 6. And again, I know my 12's facts. 12 times 8 is 96. So 96 minus 96. So I got 58 for my quotient. But it's a word problem, so I need to write a sentence in words. How many packages of cupcakes did Henry and Sadie make? So I'm going to say Henry and Sadie made 58 packages of cupcakes. Period. And finally, how much money would they make if they sold the packages for $14 each? Well, I know they had 58 packages, and they're selling it for $14 each, so each means groups. But I'm trying to figure out how much money total they're going to make from it. So I'm going to multiply, because I want to multiply all these groups together. So 58 times 14 is going to be my equation. 8 times 4 is 32. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 is 23. I'm done with the 4 and that one. So now I need my sneaky 0 because I'm going to the tens place. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 5 is 5. Add them together. I get 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 8 is 11. 5 plus 2 is 7. Plus the 1 more is 8. So I'm going to say they made, make $812 if they sell or sold. No, if they sold, yeah, all of the cupcakes or all of the packages or however you want to say your sentence. All right. That is your study guide. If you can do all of this, then your test tomorrow will be an easy A. If any of this was hard, go back and slow it down the video and relook at what I was doing and make sure you understand that strategy. And if you don't understand, make sure you ask a question about it before you take your test. Okay? So Thanks for watching. See you later.